Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Seven Greens Homestead, and today I wanted to wait for it to be a little cooler out before I got on here and showed you what I was up to. It was a hot day today here in the high desert of Southern California. I am out here in my garden and I am about to, well, you saw the title of this video. I am about to tickle my tomato flowers. Now you might ask, what is tickling tomato flowers? This is tickling tomato flowers. You guys, my tomato plants love their flowers tickled. And you know what happens when I come out here and I see tomato flowers and I tickle them? They love it and they produce fruit for me. Okay, so the real deal is that tomato flowers are self-pollinating. And they rely not on bees, but on vibrations to pollinate them. And so the vibrations can be caused either from the wind or from somebody bumping up against the plant like an animal or something, or from me tickling these flowers. So that's what I'm out here doing. It just increases the productivity of my tomato plants. The first plant that I tickled was one of my favorites. That was the Kellogg breakfast, and the sooner I could get fruit set on that tomato plant, the better it is for me. So I'm just out here tickling flowers. That's what I'm doing. Oh, that flower came off, but that's okay. There's plenty more left. And you guys, I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna do this to all, oh, let's see, I think I have something like 83 plants, tomato plants in my garden. And I'm gonna go around as well and start trimming the lower leaves off of my tomato plants. So for instance, this Kellogg breakfast, I was telling you, that's my favorite, and all those pretty flowers on there ready to bear fruit for me. If you look at this plant, all the leaves that are touching the ground and that are yellowing at the bottom and that have that bottom all filled up, I am going to take off. I am going to just prune these off. Now, none of these are fruit producing right now. All of my fruit producing, my first fruit producing trellis is up here. So I am going to cut off all of these lower ones because most likely these are already yellowing and starting with a little bit of disease, and it's just not necessary for them to be there. So I'm taking all of these lower ones off, and I'm just gonna leave the ones up at the top there. Now when I come back and I actually prune to have a single or a double stem on these, then I will be taking off the suckers. But today it's just me cleaning up the lower parts of all of my tomato plants and taking off these leaves that are not necessary or that may already be starting to get some kind of disease or maybe touching the ground, which will then cause them to catch disease easily. So I want these babies to last a long time and be healthy. So that's why I'm taking all this part off. And in the process, I'm tickling a few that have flowers. I'm tickling those flowers too. So, let's see. Now, I fed my chickens earlier so that they wouldn't bug me while I'm out here doing this. But, they're right here asking me for stuff. They always got questions for me. So, anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that this is what I'm up to right now while it's cool, and I will come back and show you the final results of me trimming the bottoms off of the tomato plants. So I'll see you back in a bit. So this is what I'm left with, where you can see the lower stem is clear. Now, one thing I did mention, by doing this also opens up the plant to better airflow as well, which also helps fight against disease and other things. So those look a whole lot better now that I've clipped off their lower limbs and trimmed them up there. My chickens kept fighting over the leaves, snatching them and running. And then they keep yelling in my face. But anyways, I just wanted to show you. I didn't take all the leaves, just those lower ones. Just the ones that are below that first flower set. And you guys, I am so excited because I also noticed that I have sunflowers growing. So I'll explain to you why I planted sunflowers there in a later video. But for the sake of this video, I just wanted to show you that I went around and I just trimmed up all of Tomato Row. All of my Tomato Row is now trimmed up. And flowers have been tickled. So, some of them have a lot of flowers. And then look at this one. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. It has a huge mega bloom on there. Those are a whole bunch of flowers fused together on this one big thing. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna let it grow. I flicked that thing, tickled that one a little bit extra. But yeah, so these are all done. And then I started, because I'm doing all of my tomatoes. So I started the container one here. Look at that. Now you can see the bottom there, whereas all of this was on there down at the bottom, crowding it out. And there's still some flowers on there to tickle. I haven't tickled these yet. I'll get these all tickled. And hopefully I'll get early fruit set on these just from a little tickling. So now I'm gonna go around and I am gonna trim up all the rest of my tomatoes in my beds here and in my containers and get them all trimmed up, and I will be back when I get these finished. Okay, so I cleaned up all my other tomato plants that were big enough to be cleaned up and trimmed off on the bottom. And I'll show you through here. These ones got trimmed up too. It's cool. And look, another mega bloom. Look at that. So pretty. This one isn't going to be as cat-faced. It might just turn out to be a big tomato without the cat facing. That other one that I showed you guys is going to be cat-faced for real. So, over here I got these done too. Look how pretty this tomato plant is. This is a West Virginia sweetmeat, and all those flowers that I tickled. And you guys, I wanted to show you this. It just shows that tickling tomato flowers really work. Okay, so this plant already has my first fruit set of the season. Look at that. I was out here tickling these tomatoes a lot because this one is called Thorburns Terracotta. Let me get in close on the name so you can see it. And it's supposed to be a really good, really pretty tomato. So I'm excited for that. First tomatoes of the season already started fruiting right there. First fruit set. Also, I wanted to show you guys while I'm over here, these stems that I took off here. I can either put them in some water or plant them in some soil and use these to grow clones off of this tomato plant. If you have tomato pieces that break off and you're like, oh shoot, now I ruined my tomato plant. No, put it in some water or stick it in some soil and keep that soil moist and let the roots grow out, because they will grow out. Because anywhere along these stems on these tomatoes, there's hairs that are on these stems. Anywhere on these stems, they can grow roots from. So anyways, you guys, I just wanted to show you how I tickle my tomato flowers and just share with you the reason why I do that, and then show you also how I trim up the bottom parts of my tomato plants and the reasons why I do that. I hope this video inspired you. I hope you learned something from it, or I hope that it at least confirms maybe what you've heard from somebody else. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I have plenty more to come, so click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, you guys, God bless.